Okay, so as we know, the class today, we will get to know some types of poems, and we're going to talk about the haiku poem. You will have an assignment on creating a haiku poem, and we're also going to get to know some of the shapes of poems. Probably it's the first time for you to hear the expression shape of a poem. All right, so as you can see here, poetry can also be put into different format. We talk about the stanzas. We understand that any poem would consist of stanzas, just like an essay that is consisting of paragraphs. And stanzas differ in the length and the number of lines, could be 3, 4, 5, and could be, as you can see, different in shape, just like the shape of the poem. Usually, the poem takes the shape of the topic. So the poet here is talking about the star. That's why he created his poem in the form of a star. So he says, "Oh, pretty star, shine in the sparkle. Above us in the sky, glow and twinkle. Moon and the stars adores each other, shines at night and make the sky look bright. Be my guiding light, never fade, little star. Always twinkle like a dot of magic. All the night twinkle like a guiding light for us. A heavenly body filled with luster." So you might be a little bit confused. How am I going to read it? So you'll be reading it just like it is written as this, as if it is in line. And as I mentioned, the shape of the poem takes from the title. Let's have a look at another example here. As you can see, in a twist. Look at the shape of the poem, how it is shaped. Can you tell me what is the form of the poem here? It looks like what?
Tornado.
Excellent, absolutely. So it takes the shape of a tornado. So if you can read, we felt the rain, wind and hail, and then can you read the Rana, please? Rana, you're here, right?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Yes, please read.
In a twist, we felt the rain, wind, and hail, and then the thunder and the lights come.
Came.
The wind, sorry, came. The wind gathering up and beginning to spin, like because it's flipping, spinning top. I don't know.
Sucking up.
Up dust like a vacuum cleaning. The twist went around and around like a merry-go-round.
Mm-hmm.
The gusts
Gusts.
the gusts of air we are picking up dust of
It
continues
continued.
to roar loudly,
Mm-hmm. Destroying.
everything, destroying everything along the way. Soon it was gone.
Excellent, excellent. So it's as I mentioned, you can read as per the flow of the word. And the funny thing is, you still can find rhyming, and you still can find a metaphor and similes. Lots of poetical devices are found. Safa, can you choose any poetical device to talk about here?
Like a spinning top, sucking up dust like a vacuum cleaner would be a simile.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Like a merry-go-round. Do you know what is a merry-go-round?
Yeah.
All right. So just in case anybody doesn't know what is a merry-go-round, this is the ride that when you go to the Canada Wonderland or you go any fair, you see the ride. It's a ride for people to ride and have fun. It's like, this kind of joy. All right, and the gusts of air were picking up dust. Look at that. What do you think? Who can pick up something from the ground? Who has the characteristic and the ability to fold and pick up something from the ground?
A person.
Excellent. So this one is the gusts of air were picking up dust. So this is personification, coming from the word person. So I give the quality of picking up something to the gust, as if the gust is a person or a human being falling down to the ground and picking up some dust. It continued to roar loudly. This is monopotopoeia, where you find the sound of the thing. Here is sound, roar loudly. It's like when you say splash, splash, splash. This is the sound of the water. When you say tin, 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 this is the sound of the bell. So the poet here, despite that the poem is short and, twisted like a tornado, you still can see lots of poetical devices, and this is what we are looking for. And always we say that the poem is shaped as per the thing it describes. Like if you are talking about your cat, you might have the shape of a cat or something. Look at that here. This is my name is Ciara Circle. That's why it is drawn into a form of a round thing. Here is a triangle. Count my sides, 1, 2, 3. Just look at that. Tear on triangle. This is me. Count my sides, 1, 2, 3. What you can see here, me and the 3.
Rhyming.
Excellent. And here, Sammy Square is my name. Trace my sides. They are all the same and the name. Again, it's rhyming. You might think it's a little bit childish or simple or so, but the thing is, the aim is to show how the writer or the poet is able to manage their language, what we call in this concern, we call it diction. The poet's word, we call it diction. So the poet is able to use diction and able to use the shape at the same time. All right, so your assignment now is to search for a haiku poem on the internet, and you are supposed to read, and remember that the poem you need to look for or to search online is the form of the ancient Japanese poetry, of course, and it is only of 3 lines. The first and third lines have 5 syllables, and the second one has 7. Who would like to start first? Safa?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen?
No, I'll just type it in the chat.
Okay, no problem. You just copy and paste and explain. Read it to us.
Okay. A caterpillar this deep falls still, not a butterfly, by Matsuo Basho.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite short, but it talks about how a caterpillar in late fall and how despite the season passing for its transformation, it's still not a butterfly.
Okay, so is this the poem? Only these few words?
Yeah.
Are these 3 lines? Because in the chat box, it is like almost half a line. Is it 3?
Yeah, it's just when I typed it, it's like one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Rana, do you have another one? Thank you, Safa. Rana, do you have another one? Did you go somewhere, Rana? Okay. Anyway, so what we will do now, I'm going to share another example because you will have an assignment based on the haiku poems. You have lots of assignments today, okay? All right, so here is an example, as you can see here, example of a haiku poem, The Old Pond. An old silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond, Splash, silence again. So again, look at the word splash here is onomatopoeia, and I want you to please to remember this expression. Onomatopoeia is the sound of the word when it is like when you say dip, it's like you dipped something, it's fell down and you say dip. Splash is the sound of water, hiss is the sound of a snake or people who are tiptoeing. So even if it is very short, why do I tell you this? Because even if it is very short, you still can create and use poetical devices in order to make your poem effective and strong. Another one here, Lighting One Candle by Yosa Basun. The light of a candle is transferred to another candle, spring twilight. Very simple, very easy. As you can see, most of the poems focus on brief moment in time, juxtaposing two images and creating a sudden sense of enlightenment. A good example of this, of course, this guy, this poet is the master of the examples of haiku poems. So we spoke about the type of a haiku poem and you looked it up online. There are also other types of poems, what we call the sonnets, which is 14-line poem. I'm focusing on the most common poetry that you might face and also on different poems that you can see. So as you can see, the sonnet is of 14 lines with variable rhyme scheme. And the first time it appeared in Italy, and the master of sonnets is William Shakespeare, of course. The lyric is a modern lyric poetry, a formal type of poetry, expresses personal emotions and feelings. Usually it is spoken in the first person. There is a story behind it. That's why you will find a narrative, dramatic events, and the lyrical are not always possible to make a distinction between them. Sometimes you feel, is this a dramatic one or is this a narrative one? So it's all about somebody telling you a story. The ballad is another important type of poetry. It's old and traditional form of poetry, typically tells a dramatic or emotional story, mainly about sailors, about farmers, and about people who lost their love and so on. It's all full of emotional effects. A ballad is typically 4 lines. We call it a quatrain and has a rhyme scheme. And also you will see the people who, write about their country or about struggle or emotion, high emotion, we call it ballad. Okay, so I see somebody asking something. Okay, Rana. All right, so if you prepared, have you searched a haiku poem, Rana? If you found something you can share in the chat box, that would be fine. Okay, so today we have many. No, you're still looking. Okay, so it's only looking for a haiku poem. If you just type in haiku, the one word I wrote in the chat box, if you just write the haiku poems on Google, you can find so many. And just for you to be able to do the assignment, there will be an assignment about a haiku poem, and you are supposed to get it exactly as the structure and what is it all about. Just to bear in mind that most of the time haiku poems are mainly talking about nature, about emotions, and about small figure things. All right, so here is another task that you will be seeing on the Google Classroom. Let us go to Google Classroom, please. I wanted to explain it to you. So it is part of your assessment as high school students is to be able to assess yourself first. So we want you to be able to identify your skills and abilities. Here is a document, but just let me make sure everybody can see. So can you please confirm in the chat box that you are able to see the assignment? I just placed it. I just posted it at 5:25 p.m. Let me see. Yes, Safa can. All right, Rana, can you see it, please? Can you see the assignment? All right. Perfect. All right. Let me explain it to you. So this is the aim of the assignment. There is no due date, meaning it's not going to be tomorrow or something. It's going to be today. I'm going to give you time to do that. It's 2 parts. So this assignment is to evaluate your ability to read aloud and understand a poem. You will hear a poem being read online. I'm going to share the link now and I will give it to you. Also, just if you wanted to hear more often, you're not going to go anywhere for the analysis of the poem. You're not going to, do anything like copy something. You are going to figure it out on your own. You will be, your assignment is to do the exercise and then share in the class and share your findings. This is a part for oral assessment. So you will have the sheet to measure your ability in oral presentation. This is the sheet. Let's have a look at it. Very simple and easy. You're going to write your name, please. You will have to write your name. And it's all about Unit 1, which is the poetry. We're almost about to finish the units. You will have only the assessment, the class test and the unit test and the assignment. So the HiQ assignment will be right after that. I will give you 2 days to complete it. Maybe you know what? I'll give you the rest of the week to finish your assignment. The deadline will be next week for the assignment because we're going to start a new unit. But for now, this is what you're going to assign yourself. Level 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 for each indicator here. So are you able to listen and to understand key questions? The key questions will be provided to you in another separate sheet. It's also attached. So you will be able to assess yourself. I can identify the purpose of a wide range of listening tasks and set goals for specific tasks. You give yourself assessment here, level 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. It's the 4 is the full mark. Like if you say yes, 4 out of 4, meaning I understand perfectly well and I know the purpose of listening to something. Like, for example, if I say, hey, everybody, I want you to support the little kid. The little kid is unable to find food or shelter. Please support. So you would be able to understand this spoken words are for what reason? Probably it's for encouraging people to do some charity. If I say, hey guys, it's time now to all stand in one line to be strong and united in solidarity of the African people. So you might be able to understand that the call here or the language here out of listening, this is all out of listening, is for the purpose of being patriotic or to help support in the army or any of those. The poem that you will listen in the coming moments is also, you would be able to understand what is the purpose. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what is it because this is part of your assignment to identify why is the poem giving you this poem. Okay, so on and so forth. As you can see, not too many. It's only those points that you need to read carefully and give yourself a mark. Check. You can say yes, or you can make a correct sign, anything of those. You're not going to write anything. You will be evaluating yourself, like to give yourself how much. Remember, there is no marks here. So be honest, because that will give us an idea which parts we need to focus on. And here is the teacher's feedback on your performance. Are you able to understand? as much as you can. I'm not asking you to know, to be an expert of these, but as much as you can. If there is something that you do not understand, maybe you can ask, okay? So that would be the evaluation assessment sheet for you as a student. Don't forget to write your name, okay? Let me go to the other questions that will help you understand the task. Here are they. So again, you're going to write your name here, and these questions, as you can see, simple, easy, no difficult anything. It's just preparing you. Based on the poem that you will be listening in a minute, I will play it for you, okay? You will answer those questions. What is the tone of the passionate shepherd to his love? This is a poem that you will listen, and I will display the lyrics for you to help you even understand better. And you will answer those questions. What is the tone? What are the things that the shepherd promised to give to his beloved girl? And what are these promises? You can just highlight them here. According to the shepherd, if his love agrees to be with him, what pleasure will await them? What are the good things that they will enjoy together if she becomes his beloved? What does a belt of straw and ivy buds? Here, the question is about your understanding of poetical devices, the exaggeration or the metaphor or the simile or the annotation. Any of those, you need to talk about the meaning here. Okay, what metaphors are used in The Passionate Shepherd to His Love by Christopher Marlowe? So you're going to pick few. I'm not asking you to give me every poetical or metaphors. Just give me an example or two. Because when you do that, I will understand that you are able to understand the reading and the listening of a passage or a poem. What are three literary devices? What are the devices? Remember the music at the end, the irony, the exaggeration, all the terminology we talked about. What are they? So mention three of them. And what was the shepherd proposing to the nymph? There will be something related to understanding. So these are the questions that you are going to answer in a minute, and you will be watching the video. Let me ask you, do you need a break before you start the assessment? The assessment and the assignment? Anyone? Do you need a break? Before you go for the assignment, because you still have another assignment, huh?
Maybe a 5-minute break.
Okay, no problem at all. I'll give you 5 minutes, come back after 5 minutes.